Hi everybody! I hope you're all having a good day. I hope you're all smiling and enjoying a lovely day. In this following tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to set up the Gamepad controller node inside of VNyan. That way for VTubers who want to have a very interactive hand movements with their game controller can be able to do it with VNyan. Now, we're going to actually utilize the native node method for this tutorial. We're not going to be using the Fingies controller app, and we're also not going to be using Luna's version of the graph, because Luna has a version where if you're using arm sway, she has a version where it's like gamepad, but you can have a sway with it. This tutorial is specifically for VTubers who don't have the arm sway and want to have the game controller set up. Now, for me, I have the DualShock controller, which is basically just the PlayStation controller. Basically, you can use Xbox controller; those are pretty much the main controllers that are supported with VNyan, Xbox, or PlayStation. For other controllers, I don't know, but the Xbox and the PlayStation should be the most commonly known ones. If you don't have one, you can order one on Amazon. Make sure that you have not only just the controller, but also have the cable so you can connect with your PC, which I believe it should come with it, considering charging and such. So it should come with the wire. If not, you can always order one on Amazon and such. Look it up yourself, basically. And besides that, which you do need the physical controller, the other thing you do need as well, you are going to be needing the program DS for Windows. Now, by default, your computer will not detect your controller, or at least VNyan will not. The only way to get VNyan to react to your controller is by downloading the DS for Windows. What this will do, this program will basically allow so your PC can communicate with the controller, so it detects it and reads its inputs, basically. So I'll leave in the description below where you can get DS for Windows. You can download it. There'll be a direct download. You just download it. Just follow the instructions. Download any of the assets they recommend and such. Just follow the instructions there, because for the most part, I just follow the instructions the program provided, and that's it. I didn't have to do anything else afterwards, because it already pretty much explained it pretty well for me. So check that out. There's also even other tutorials you could check out from the official website regarding setup if you have any specific needs for it. But otherwise, you just download the program. It should be very simple to set up and such. And I recommend, if you have any technical difficulties with DS for Windows, please contact the developer of DS for Windows instead, so they can help you out with any bugs, especially if maybe you're older PC and such. Now, besides that though, we are going to be needing to download the node graph for the gamepad, which I will leave directly in the description for the download from the Discord server. I hope that the link will work. Let me know if it does work. And basically, if you're on Suvidriel's Discord server, I'll leave a screenshot right here where you can download the non-arm sway version of the graph. Again, I will go over in a different tutorial regarding those who have arm sway that wants to have the toggle. So do keep in mind there will be a different tutorial for that. But this is going to be for the non-arm sway, or if you happen to toggle your arm sway on and off, you could do that. Pretty much, it's whatever you want, basically. We're just going over this version specifically. So, you're going to download that node graph, and then if you're wondering where do you get a controller prop, by the way, because I know some people may not model their own controller prop or anything like that, so you're maybe wondering where do you get your very own. I will leave in the description this one person who made the VNyan controller prop. I believe, let me check their name. Their name is Sparkle Wolfie. They're the ones that made this gamepad, so you can definitely download it as like a temporary controller. If you want to model your own, you can. I do have a prop conversion tutorial you can definitely check out. Otherwise though, or you can commission it from somebody else, whatever you want, as long as it's a VNyan prop file and it's a game controller, basically. There's that. But otherwise, download the one in the description below. So, those are pretty much the requirements on the stuff that you need to download. Now, let's get into the preparation of setting up the gamepad node with VNyan. Now, if you're very brand new to VNyan, please check out my other tutorials regarding tracking, the wizard, and all that other stuff I've made before. before attempting this tutorial, because it's very important that you have the basic knowledge of VNyan before attempting this tutorial. But either way, first thing you're going to do is make sure that you download DS for Windows. Make sure that your controller is properly connected and that things are working fine. For my controller, it shows because it's a DualShock, it has the light activated, a blue light. Your controller may be a different color depending on your settings and such, or if it's an Xbox controller and such. But basically, you should have your controller connected to your PC, and you should check in. You should be able to check in the in the DS for Windows, the DS for Windows program, that your controller is being detected, basically. That's the first step you need to check. I'll leave a screenshot right here showing an example of my controller being detected, so you kind of know how it should look like to know that your controller is being detected. Again, contact the developer of DS for Windows if you are experiencing some issues. Besides that, though, what we're going to do is we're going to go, after you download, after DS for Windows, you're going to then download Suvidriel's graph, and you're going to go into Node Graphs. Then you're going to click on Add New Graph right here, right? And then you're going to go and click on Load. And then I'm going to click on Yes. And then I'm going to load in the Gamepad JSON file. And basically, it should be as simple as that. And again, you download the JSON file from the Discord server or in the description below. I should have the direct download. You just go to the description, download where it says Gamepad node. You download that. Then from the node graph here, you add a new graph, then you load the JSON file that you downloaded, and it should load this graph right here, basically. And now you may be a little confused. Oh my god, this graph is so long, what do I do? Don't worry, I got you. I got you covered. So what you're going to do, right? Follow my lead. So what you're going to first do is you're going to zoom in, so you see where there's a message here, right? The Gamepad tracking message here. What you're going to do is you're going to find the application start node right here, right? It's the yellow one here. Right click it and click on send signal. Then what you're going to do is you're going to move around all the way over here, just follow my mouse movement, till you find this green node right here. And basically, right here, this will allow you to trigger, so if you right click send signal here, you can be able to have the pose for the gamepad, basically. Should look like this. So you can also press F2 if you want to toggle it. Now, if you want to change the hotkey, you could change it to, let's say, somewhere on your numpad. I'll do numpad 5, so I can change it via numpad. If you're a Stream Deck user, you would probably use the WebSocket node. So you're going to type in WebSocket on the top left here. I believe it was just double checking. Yeah, because it's been a while since I've done VNyan. But here, WebSocket command here. So you just press on WebSocket right here. And then you would have this here. And then you pretty much just type in, whatever is Gamepad. And then again, I made a tutorial regarding how to set up the Stream Deck to VNyan. So you just, connect it from there. I will leave in the description that tutorial if you're confused. If you're curious on setting up the Stream Deck with VNyan, because I did make a full tutorial on how to do that. So just for reference, you just, all you have to do is just connect this to here. And then you just connect it with your Stream Deck if you already know, or either you already know, or just check out the tutorial down below, basically. So what you're going to do is what you're going to do now, once you have the thing set up here and you have it toggled on, basically, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to set up your gamepad prop. The one gamepad prop I linked in the description, which has the Ko-fi link. You just download it. It's completely free. So you just go through the checkout, which is free. It's not going to take your credit card information. And basically, you're just going to download that VNyan prop. And then what you're going to do once you've downloaded the VNyan prop file, you're going to go into props right here. And then you're going to click on add prop right here. And then you're going to go through your file explorer and find the VNyan prop file here. And it's going to look very giant. This is normal. So what you're going to do in order to fix the scaling of this is you're going to first select linked bone. and set it to your right hand. Then you're going to set the scaling to a much smaller number and set the scaling to, let's say, 0.06, and then just kind of copy and paste the number with Control A, then Control C, then Control V on all this area, right? So now the gamepad is much more smaller. And then you can be able to go to the transform mode here, set it to move. Here, I'll move this a little higher up. So you can select move right here, and you can be able to adjust the gamepad here. So you can rotate it like so. And then basically just take your time adjusting according to what you want, basically. So here, then we can set this to move again. You know, again, it's at the bottom left corner right here. There's move, rotate, and scale. So you can scale any way you like, you know, whatever you like. And this is pretty much in a nutshell how you can set up the gamepad. Now, let's say, for instance, right, what if I want to change the pose a bit? Because let's say the hands are still a little, like, they feel too awkward, right? So what do I do about the hand, you know, let's say I want my hands to be more closer. What do I do? So what you're going to do is on node graph, what you're going to do is you're going to have to move all the way down here. So from the green node here, you're going to move all the way down over here, basically. Now here, this is where you can change the value of the bones, basically. This is going to be complicated. So, so I'll say this. If you don't want to change the posing because it's too tedious, it is okay. You could just leave it as default like this. And I will say, it does work, as you can see. I'm pressing the controller right now. It does work as long as you have DS for Windows installed and open. You have your controller connected, and then you have the gamepad node, you know, active right here, basically. It does work, right? It only works with the button presses, by the way. It does not detect, like, the bottom, you know, the little knobs at the bottom. It doesn't detect that. It only detects the buttons, basically, for this graph. Keep that in mind. I don't have any answer regarding how do you get the knobs to be tracked. You could check out Fingy's controller. Maybe they might have a detection for that. If not, I can't answer that question. But otherwise, it does, you know, you have your button presses here. But either way, if you do, I just want to at least make sure to let you know it does work. This is more for if you want fine-tuned control. So let's say we do want to change how our arms are. We want our arms to be a little closer, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to then, here on, let's say, lower arm, because we want the lower arms to move. So lower arm right here, this is the right one. So we're talking about the character's right arm, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to change the Y value. So do be very gentle when changing the value. So from negative 80, let's try negative 88. So that makes it closer. So let's try 95. And it does make our arms a little closer. Then we can go find the one for left lower arm, which is right here. So left lower arm. And then we can make this, again, 95 to mirror it, basically. And you can kind of have it so it's a little closer, or you can have it even more closer if you like this. So 111, you can set this to 111. So the hands are much more closer, you know, for instance. I would say I probably would keep this at 96, but you know, it's a matter of what you prefer. Now, let's say, for instance, how about I want my hands to be more straighter or more curved in, you know, whatever you like. You could do the same thing here. So on the left hand at, over here, you can have it where the negative 34 could be, let's try negative 40 right here. Let's try 80. So that makes it more straighter. And then you could try 30 or 10. And you can have it more curved. Let's try negative 50 for this one. And then for the other hand, Instead, we'll put 50 over here. So there you go. You can have it something like this. So that way the arms are a little closer and then your wrists are a little bit more straighter. So pretty much you could just mess with these values, and keep in mind you're messing with a 3D model. So these are basically your coordinates regarding like how your fingers will rotate. So just experiment. And again, you can also, just a little fun fact by the way, right? So when you select on the gizmo right here, right? You can kind of get like a sort of idea, like how the coordinates would rotate if you kind of look at the pose. If you're very brand new to 3D, you could kind of sort of reference, like when you look at pose mode and you have transform mode on with rotate, you can kind of see like, you can kind of mess and kind of get an idea like, okay, this is how you would like rotate. But for the most part, just mess with the values very small, basically, for the most part, until it's to what you want. Otherwise, though, I pretty much showed you in a nutshell, like, kind of examples of things you can edit. But otherwise, you could just simply just slap the node on your character. Just make sure to do application start, and then enable the hotkey or WebSocket if you're a Stream Deck user, and basically you can be able to get this sort of pose going. And I also want to highlight as well that when it comes to the gamepad toggle, right, there is also a node that already exists in the node graph where you can toggle the prop. Make sure to set this to your gamepad, especially if you already have props that do exist. Make sure to select the one that is designated as the, you know, the gamepad that you have here, basically, and you can have it so it can be toggled. Basically, there is one that has it where it's set to hidden, so this can hide it, and then this one can have it where it can be set to visible. So make sure the game controller is set over here. That way when you toggle on and off the game controller, it also hides the prop, therefore a lot more convenience for you. If you do want it where the like your hands actually do press the buttons, again, mess with the hand posing or the controller, or if you really want, you could of course commission somebody or model your own controller, so that way it's a little bit more accurate if you want. But otherwise though, for the most part, this is basically how you can do a game controller in VNyan for those without arm sway. For arm sway users, I will of course make a separate tutorial on how to set that up, so stay tuned for that tutorial whenever I post it. But either way though, thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. I will also say, if you have any other questions regarding VNyan or technical issues, I heavily recommend please join the VNyan Discord server, as the developer of VNyan is there, and she is happy to not only take requests, but also help you out or answer any like questions and such. I'll also be there too, if anyone has questions for me in the VNyan Discord server. But otherwise though, I heavily recommend please join the VNyan Discord server. Plus also you'll get access to the free already available node graph that allows you to take VNyan to the next level, especially if you're someone that don't code or do nodes. There are already graphs that the community has made. You can download it and use it however you like. But either way though, I hope that this tutorial helps you out, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye! Thank you to all my Snowflake members. In case you don't know, I have YouTube membership, so if you want to further support this channel and what I do, then feel free to join the Snowflake members. Otherwise though, just your support means so much to me, and I appreciate every ounce of it. Either way though, with that being said though, hey-ka, 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 bye-bye everyone! I hope to see you guys next time, okay? Bye-bye!